Coming up on Nerd Raw, we discuss the PlayStation Now beta, why Phil Fish is an idiot, Capcom is up for sale, and the female presence in gaming. This ain't Nerdcore. This is Nerd Raw.
Good morning, evening, afternoon. I said that backwards. Welcome to Nerd Raw. I'm KV Anime.
I'm saying Frais.
There's been a lot of interesting things going on this week. And in regards to gaming, I want to just touch base on a few of those things, starting off with the PS Now and its atrocious pricing.
You know, I touched on this yesterday for a video that we did for our channel, but let's do a quick touch-up.
Hip Hop Gamer did make a video earlier this week.
Yeah, he made one as well.
We want to give our thoughts in probably a little bit more detail in regards to the pricing. Some of these games, including the likes of these pretty extensive titles like Final Fantasy, you look at 4 hours of just gameplay for Final Fantasy 13, it is $3. For 90 days, it's upwards of $15 to $30. And touching on the actual age of the game, you could probably get it at that price and buy the game completely outright, because when you're renting, you don't own it at all.
Their pricing model, it's stupid. First off, the 4-hour rental thing shouldn't even be there. Why would you spend $3, $4, $5, $6 for a 4-hour rental when it shows on their pricing model that for $1 or $2 more bucks, you can rent the game for a week? I understand it's still in closed beta right now, so these aren't the final prices. This isn't the final structure that we're gonna get. But personally, I'm glad Sony showed it to us now, because now they're gonna hear what the fans and the beta testers think, and they could change it if they decide to listen. The thing that's really bad about it is that if you're in the beta, you actually have to pay these prices to test out the streaming service, which doesn't make sense because at first it was free, which it should be. It's a beta. You don't charge people that's in a beta. That doesn't make sense.
Sony they've been struggling financially. They're trying to recoup back some money.
Yeah.
Considering they got the hottest console on the market, might as well try to capitalize on some of these things that they're trying to practice.
Yeah, because I mean, as a whole, like you said, they're not doing good, but they had such a good start with how the PS4 was running. And now you're trying to bring PlayStation Now into the picture, and it's looking bad. Did
Sony honestly really think that people would just buy into it because it's got such a huge following at this point?
I mean, probably.
Well,
it's probably what they thought.
It's not looking good. If they continue with this model up to the official release, and if it's any remotely close to similarity, then they're going to have a problem on their hands. You're gonna have a huge problem.
It's gonna fail. Honestly, it would just be better if you have it set up like Netflix, or maybe you pay $10, $15 a month and you can stream as many games as you want throughout the month. Or like Hip Hop said, make it an add-on to PlayStation Plus. If users want it, make them pay an extra $10, $15 a month to go along with PlayStation Plus. Renting a game, what was it, $30 for a 90-day rental, and you can actually go out and buy the game for that much. And that's just for one game. So if you want to play a bunch of games at a time, you're going to kick out so much money.
That's why
in the long run,
it was best for most gamers just to keep their previous generation consoles.
Yeah.
In the event that something like this was going to happen. Now, it's revealing its ugly head that if you traded your PlayStation 3 or your Xbox up to this point and there was to dish out services like this, you're probably gonna wish you kept it. At the end of the day, it's really up to the gamers. You know, you as a consumer have the power to agree or disagree, because the dollar of the consumer is almighty and more powerful than any executive or a board of director that's on the Sony panel. I
mean, just talk with your wallets, you know? Let Sony know if you don't like this. Let them know. They would be stupid not to change this pricing model before this becomes public.
According to Phil Fish, us as gamers that like to post gameplay footage of various games or do commentary over them, we owe the developers a shit ton of money. This guy is really just a buffoon and talking completely out of his ass. I'll actually read his exact quotes. YouTubers should have to pay a huge portion of their revenue to the developers from which they steal all their content. Revenue should be shared with developers. This should be built into YouTube. Anything else is basically piracy. Phil, my man, that was actually on his Twitter, and he since
deleted
his account.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, because he got thrashed.
Well, yeah.
Because his reasoning made absolutely no sense. When somebody buys your game, you've already made revenue. Like many have said, when we play your game and we open up the game publicly to potential thousands of viewers, potential thousands of customers that can buy your game, it's free fucking promotion.
One streamer actually he was very upset by this comment because we all know Phil Fish. He said stupid stuff before where people are just turned off from buying his game. And one streamer, he persuaded a lot of people in his audience. He was like, I know Phil says crazy stuff, but give Fez a chance. It's a good game. And a lot of people that watch him actually went out and bought it. And they were like, well, we're glad we took your recommendation, because if we would have just went based off of Phil being an idiot, we never would have bought that game. But because of a streamer who promoted you, you got sales, a ton of them. Remember when Nintendo did this last year? Start hitting all the Let's Play channels that were playing Nintendo games, and they pretty much became public enemy #1 and stopped.
Yeah, back in February 2013, they registered their copyright content to the YouTube database. And that's when all hell broke loose.
If Phil was really that mad that people are making money streaming his game, go through the proper channels of YouTube to handle it. Well, you'll still be public enemy #1, like Nintendo was at the minute, but you're not sounding like a total idiot on social network.
Well, he's been sounding like a total idiot.
I know I know, it's Phil Fish.
If you've seen this guy with the Indie Gamer documentary, you can actually watch it on Netflix, hopefully it's still there. You'll see how jacked up this guy really is in the head. He's so stressed out over one game. You've made one game. You are not a pioneer.
But you have to remember,
you have no legacy.
You have to remember what he went through in the documentary though, because remember when he first showed Fez years ago and everybody was like, this is so amazing, this has never been done before, and then it was a no-show. Then he was going through stuff with his ex-partner and he was trying to finish things with like it was him and maybe 1 or 2 other people trying to finish this game. And when they finally got to PAX East, his partner still didn't sign the papers yet so he can legally show it off. That would stress anybody out. It's the aftermath of that. Because then it was like, Fez was good, people liked it, and then Phil just started acting stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, be happy. What you stressed so hard over that you said you would commit suicide if you couldn't show it to people, okay? People loved it. They liked it. Be happy.
Phil Fish, wherever you are, man, I wish you the best, but as far as any support from me in the gaming community, you can revoke that.
There's a lot of people that's not
I'm only one
him.
person, but that's $10, $20 less you're gonna get from me. Third-party developer Juggernaut, Capcom, is now up for sale. Wow, it's crazy. Over 30 years of gaming prominence gone down the drain because they didn't want to listen to the consumer.
Yep.
And now they are up for auction.
It's
which is
sad.
absolutely insane.
Like any company can come in and buy it out if they wanted to.
Don Sterling, man, if you want to buy Capcom, go right ahead, baby.
What?
I'm just kidding. He'll be the most racist gaming company owner in history. Capcom has been slowly dwindling at a rapid pace, losing money.
I think the last straw was with Capcom, before they hit that downward spiral completely, was obviously Mega Man. Keiji wanted to do what he wanted to do. Capcom was like, no. And he was like, okay, I don't need you. I'll leave and do my own thing. And now we're about to get Mighty No. 9. It's pretty much Mega Man. It's Mega Man.
But it's what people want.
Yeah, the fans spoke. He listened. Capcom didn't. Capcom lost a ton of money. Do you see how much Mighty Number 9 raised?
Several $1 million. It was actually one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns ever. Because of the fan support. The fan support was there.
Well, yeah, it's Mega Man.
I mean, had Capcom made a Mega Man game, imagine how much support they would have got. All those millions of dollars that they could have made off of one Mega Man game. You know, you guys are a bunch of suckers and a bunch of idiots. Gaming companies need to appreciate more of their fan base. Yeah. There's people out there with really good ideas, real good logical opinions. I'm not talking about those practicing the art of fanboyism. I'm talking about people with really good, legit ideas that can actually help benefit your company and help it grow. I think gaming companies need to take heed to our words, like simple surveys, an open invitation to like a simple Google chat, talking to your fans. You need to be more interactive with us as gamers. Yeah. Because we're the ones buying your product. We're the one that's making you money. And at the end of the day, our dollar speaks for itself. We can make you and we can break you like that. And look at Capcom now. We broke you.
The thing is, who do you think's gonna buy Capcom? Or who do you think would be a good fit to buy Capcom?
A perfect fit would be Nintendo.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree.
Nintendo would be the best fit. If any other company gets their hands on it, I would put Sony second, even though they have financial troubles. The most prominent company that has the most money that wouldn't take a blow would be Microsoft, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
I wouldn't want Microsoft to buy it. Because look, they have Rare and they did nothing with that. Nothing with Rare.
Amen.
Like, what's the point of buying it? I understand the same people aren't there that was, you know, the Rare that we grew up on, the titles. But the titles are still there. Okay, games can still be made, and it's just sitting there. You know what they gave us? They're like, well, we'll give you Conquer for Project Spark. It's bullshit.
I don't really give a shit.
That's such bullshit. I'm still mad. I'm sorry. I'm still mad about that. That's
really
bullshit.
Don't care. It's Conquer. He's not some legendary figure that I really give a crap about. Sorry, Conquer fans.
Moving on.
There's some speculation that Ubisoft was attacked by the makers of Sunset Overdrive and Insomniac Games, which I think wasn't the case. It was just a simple skin that resembled something of an Assassin's Creed character, and people are blowing this way out of proportion.
Well, why don't we just get into the talk that Ubisoft's been the main talk, well, since E3, when it comes to the lack of female protagonists in games. Because that's where that Sunset Overdrive jab came from, where everybody's mad over the comments that was made about why there's no female protagonists in the new Assassin's Creed Unity.
People will find anything to bash off in the aspect of political correctness. Is there a female Assassin's Creed lead?
Yeah.
No.
In Liberation.
In their previous games, yeah, but as a character assassin, no, there isn't. There's not a female lead in many games. You might as well go ham on several other titles that don't have a female lead.
I was thinking that same thing.
I mean, you're basing off of one isolated incident. Due to Assassin's Creed's popularity, people feel the need to attack this guy because he said it would take up resources to make a female character lead.
The animation director from Assassin's Creed 3 stated that it would take 2 days. It wouldn't be that huge of a change. It's just, I think when people heard the first comment, they just latched on and went super hard.
You have to stay true to the time period of these games. Assassin's Creed Unity is during the French Revolution. Let me remind you of the female rights that women had several hundred years ago. They had none. They had no say.
Pretty much.
Man ruled all. So if you want to stay true to the story, there's not going to be a female assassin because no man is going to take time to teach this woman how to kill. Men were taught to fight in wars, not women. Women had no place in the battlefield. It's not to disrespect the female demographic, it's just that Ubisoft wants to stay true to the story and the history that reflects it. You want to add a female character? Maybe they will, okay? Probably has some DLC.
Well, there's probably going to be one now because there's a petition out.
And there's about 480 some semi-signatures away from fulfilling this petition, but really, is that petition really going to force them to do it?
It might, because remember when people got mad, what was it, at Nintendo about Tomodachi Life? if I'm saying that correct.
About gay relationships and.
Yeah, but I mean, Nintendo listened and they said it's not going to be there at the beginning, but they'll bring it in as like an update or something later on. If the company cares, they'll listen, they'll add it later. So the petition might work. But my thing personally, when it comes to a female protagonist in a game, I don't really care if they're there or not. I've never actually just picked up a game. It was just like, this was cool, but how come I couldn't be a female instead of a guy? You know what I'm saying? Really, like when I pick up a game and play it, either the story was good or it sucked. Personally, that's all I really cared for. I don't really care if there's a female lead or not. If there is, awesome, you know? But I just never really thought of it that way. I never really, when I played Mario, I never looked at it like, how come I'm saving Peach? Why can't Peach save Mario? I never thought of it in that aspect until we saw Peach kicking ass in the comics. And it was just kind of like, if she's so badass in the comics, why isn't she made like this in the video game? I could understand why people are upset at the lack of female protagonists in video games, but it's never been like a pressing issue for me personally.
Two of the most recognizable female protagonists is Lara Croft and Samus.
Yeah.
There are characters out there that are feminine that have the title of they're the title character. But if that was the case, we can address there's a lack of black male and female leads in gaming. There's a lack of Asian leads. There's a lack of Latino leads, Indian leads, all sorts of stuff. I am colorblind. I am gender blind.
Like I never really noticed any of that.
It's a good game. I mean, god dang, some of the most beloved characters are of different skin tones. Like one of my favorite African American characters is Coltrane from Gears of War. How do you not love that guy?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
If developers were racist, Mario wouldn't be Italian. He was made by Shigeru Miyamoto, who is Japanese, who's happened to make Mario the most recognizable game character in history, an Italian plumber. People need to stop reaching for stuff. If you want to make a change, become a developer and make your own fucking game.
We're in a time period where like a lot of people are just really sensitive now about things.
It's called social media. People think that you could voice everything on social media, which is fine. I'm not going against it.
You gotta understand, like,
but there's a time and place.
A lack of female protagonists, it doesn't equate to the time period where just females just had no rights. Period.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not like that.
It's not even on the same playing field. Like when we couldn't vote, when all they wanted, we couldn't work. They just wanted us to stay home and cook and clean and make babies. Not having a ton of female lead protagonists does not equate to that.
If you have any questions or comments on any of these topics, leave them on in the comment section below. We'll be able to discuss with you on these various issues. And make sure to subscribe to Nerds with Passports and Hip Hop Gamer. Also, check out our website, nerdswithpassports.com. That is updated daily with various articles and different things.
We stream Monday through Friday at twitch.tv/nerdswithpassports from usually we start between 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we just stream to whenever.
All that's going to be in the description below. And that's going to do it. I'm KB Anime.
I'm saying Fries.
And this ain't Nerdcore.
This is Nerdcore.